pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Minutes from last meeting,
Look good to me.
Yeah, look good to me.
move to approve.
Second?
All those in favor? Ryan, you have something you want to present?
I have a few things here.
Okay.
First things is the Indiana plaque
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
I guess I could call her, but this doesn't tell you what size concrete slab they're wanting.
Say it again.
It
I'm
doesn't
sorry.
tell you what size concrete slab they're wanting or how this is being mounted.
Yeah.
It's just telling me the size of the statue, which doesn't. I don't know what they're needing. And I'm assuming he pulled this off the website, so he's. Other than this, is always gonna be able to answer for me. But I can't pour concrete based off of that. Does it need to be 3 inches bigger, 2 inches bigger? Do they want something to hook it to? I honestly just don't know. I don't know if he's gonna be here next meeting or not either, but.
Yeah, I don't know. He's
I don't know if he sent that to you or not. I just don't have an answer to it. So I don't know how to proceed with that. Other than I don't know if you guys have seen
and I think the consensus is we're gonna do it where the old
the Legion's at, right?
Legion's at. Yeah.
And I'm assuming one ended up next to the sidewalk, more or less. I mean, maybe a little bit off. Maybe put a foot or so, 2 foot off. That way it's back, and maybe pour the whole thing concrete, and maybe a little so you can walk up off the
Landscape or something
concrete
around it.
or something to stand and
Mhm.
read it. I guess.
And kind of maybe so it can be seen. The front of it can be seen from each direction of traffic.
Yeah. It'll be facing the highway, right? Because
Yeah.
just kind of facing the highway.
Yeah.
That was what I was anticipating. And I'll get with you where we're actually going to put it at down there. But I'm assuming we're going to want it close to one of our lights, so if someone's walking at night, they will be able to at least see it, and
Mhm.
So we'll figure something out down there.
Yeah.
Because I know we got
I
that
think it should have a couple lights shining on it.
right,
You know, you
right
have-
there into it.
Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be better, I think,
Yeah.
if it was set back just a little bit and have a light from each corner shining on it, like that.
I wonder if we'd be able to do that with one of those flower boxes, point the light like right out to it or something from there. Because we already have power there, or if we can get a conduit over outside into one of those flower boxes, and then hook to the other electrics there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll figure out something. But,
Yeah. Okay.
all right. Then I had that. That was on my list to do.
Thank you.
We fixed another water main break on 101. It's been leaking since the last break we had.
Yeah.
We just got to it today. It wasn't huge, but it was enough to. It was right at the driveway where we had it dug up already once before. But apparently, our last leak, it just didn't show itself because we were losing so much water on the other end of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but next day I went out there, I knew it was leaking, so we just got to it today.
Okay.
So. Ashler Point has poured the curbs in there, so they'll be getting ready for asphalt.
Today.
They poured them last week.
Last
Curbs
week?
poured last week.
Oh, that's right. I drove through there today and I saw black asphalt.
Well, they got the curbs in. I don't know if
Yeah.
they're getting everything prepped, so they'll be doing asphalt here shortly. So.
Looked like there was some asphalt in there.
Yeah, so maybe they did. Maybe they had today, later today.
It looked rough. It wasn't all smooth.
Oh yeah, so they may
rough.
put some base down. They
Yeah.
might even put base in. So.
Yeah.
So that'll be asphalted here shortly. So they're moving right along with that. All the testing is done over there except for the short stub of the sewer. The manhole test isn't done, and the pressure test on the main, the sanitary main is not done with low pressure test, and none of the manhole tests have been done in there yet. So this one over here, the pressure test on the water for Mommy Meadows. That the pressure test of the water is completed over there. That's the only testing that's been done over there.
And was that okay? The pressure
Yeah,
test?
I think everything's been fine.
Good.
So yeah, everything was good. So now they haven't done anything with the sewer over there at all. So
They've got the first road sort of cut out already. Looks like.
Yeah, and I'm assuming they'll be doing the compression test for the road, but the county comes in and sits with us on that, and then they bring an outside firm in also to walk with that. So that's what we did on that section over there. I assume this is the same way. So when they do the roll test, we'll figure out when that's going to happen.
Okay.
And then the last thing I got for you guys kind of goes with each other. We are required to do a water audit every year now. We were every 2, now we have to do it every year, but this is our 2-year cycle. We only have it validated every 2 years. The 3 papers I gave you guys shows you the amount of water that we produced at the water plant. It's 103 million gallons of water. And then it shows you, if you go over a couple more columns, is authorized consumption. That is what we have billed for and what we track through our water meters. Now we do have some customers that are on billed, like here's not billed, but we track it. Clock tower. We have a few other facilities like that. The water plants, the shop. We're tracking them, but we're not billing for them. So we are keeping track of that water. You can see we used authorized consumption was about 60 million gallons. Then you go down below that where it says water loss, 43 million gallons.
So that means we showed, according to meter readings and everything, that people have used 60 million, but we actually produced 103 million.
Correct.
Okay.
Now, with that being said, we're not allowed to guesstimate water main breaks, and we know we have them, and we can get pretty accurate with some of those numbers. But we're not allowed to use those in this at all. They don't count. And we do know we had some meter reading errors. We found about 12 million gallons we didn't bill for last year on just a few. I haven't checked any more of the bigger meters. I've been busy, but I'll get to those, and then we'll start doing the smaller ones too. So there was about 12 million gallons we missed between the school, the fire department, and a couple other things that we. And one of them actually was a shop, so we don't collect money for that one, but we were missing a zero on that one too. And we use quite a bit of water out there with the wastewater plant. We found about 12 million gallons. That's not showing in this report. So it looks a little bit better, but it's still not great. We're still missing 30 million gallons of water. Give or take, we don't know what the fire department uses on that hydrant out there. We do track when people do fill up the tanker out there, but it's on the honor system. So if someone fills up 10 tankers and only turns in 9, we don't have any idea. It's all on the honor system. So with that being said too, I would recommend that hydrant out there gets a 6-inch meter stuck on it. Not for billing purposes, but for tracking purposes. Yeah. The fire department fills up, they do testing out there, they do a lot of different things out there. That meter, I can tell when that hydrant opens up out there. Even when the small tanker trucks are filling up, I know when that hydrant opens up, it drops the needle on the tower because it's pressure loss. And
Because it's so close.
We're right across the street. You
If it
can
was 3
open one.
miles away, you wouldn't detect
The one in here, and someone filled up, we don't see it. We right there, we know when it drops. So I can almost tell you how many times the truck was there, or someone turned the water on, or what was going on. But we don't know the volume of that, and so I don't know how much water we're losing there. Also, what we're doing. I know there's sometimes they are testing that fire trucks out there, and they're blowing a lot of water across there. But is it a couple thousand gallons? There's no clue. Nobody knows. But it would be nice to have something there just on the city's end, just to say, hey,
This is where it went.
yeah, and that a 6-inch meter is not cheap by any means. It's something we got to really be thought out about putting in there. But it's something we probably should think about doing to help prevent some of this water loss. So we can say, hey, we sent 4 million gallons of water out that hydrant. At least it's 4 million gallons. We know where it went. Maybe someone drove off with it, and we don't know that. But it would and I would, if we were putting it out there, I'd put it to where it's got a meter. It radio reads, and it's got a meter digital display right up top, so everybody can literally just read numbers right off of it. So we will know what's going on with that meter. And the other thing that, and you guys, there's more reports here. This whole report is about 20-some pages long. I think Kevin's probably got the full report of this huge thing.
Going back to hydrants and meters and stuff. Is there a way we can only authorize a specific hydrant to be used for things like that? That way, if we see somebody, not a firefighter, hooking up to one, we know we didn't authorize that.
There's only 2 hydrants in town that should be hooking to. The one right here behind us.
Should be.
you see anybody hooked anywhere else, they do not have permission
Okay.
for me, unless there's a meter on that hydrant.
And those are the two you wanna put meters on.
Well,
Or-
this one back here is not, this one back here is not used nearly, since they use that one out there, this one does not get used much. I think, it used to be Heath, I don't know who owns it now, but he will fill in here periodically, and he comes over, and we do get tickets and stuff, cause probably 'cause he knows we can see him here for the most part. That one out there is the only one, the fire station one, and this one right here are the only two they should be on ever.
This one,
The one right here behind City Hall.
okay,
It's
yeah,
on.
yep.
Now, they are on one in Industrial Park, but we have a hydrant meter on that right now, and O'Neill is using that. So that's, right now, they have permission for that hydrant.
Okay.
Otherwise, no one else should, those are the only two hydrants in town here. These two are the only two anybody should be using. Anybody who comes in for a small tanker, typically we'll bring them out to the shop and fill the 2.5 out at the shop, so we are tracking the water. And I will say, someone comes in and fills 200 gallons of water up, it's not worth our time to build them. It's not. I know it sounds weird to say that, but by the time Kevin or Kim does the bill, we spent more money in the postage than what the water bill is. So,
Now, the meter you're talking about out at the station on Woodburn Road would be on the main.
be buried in the ground on that hydrant main, yeah. So it wouldn't do anything with the flow, it wouldn't bother anything, it would do nothing other than just tracking the water. And yeah, and it would just be, and then if that meter went in there, this meter would go off limits, everybody would be filling out there. That'd be the fight. We've never kind of designated that, but we kind of said, everybody go there, cause they can get turned around, and they are kind of out of the way. And I know it kind of conflicts with the fire department stuff out there, but they've been usually, they watch it and tell me if an odd truck is there. Cause I know we've had the county fill up out there and they didn't have permission, so.
Do you guys write that down when you fill up water or anything like that?
Us?
Track it, yeah.
No.
Normally, we're not filling tankers, we're hooking a hose up to a truck. But I mean, we're talking, in a half-hour training or 40-minute training, you might use 6,000 gallons of water. We're talking 30 million.
Yeah.
That's nothing though.
I know it seems like a lot of water, but
Well, that's what I've always said. I know they're using water, but how much are they actually using?
Right.
You know, in 6,000 gallons every few months is not a big deal, but still we need to know what they're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
And we need to know if someone's out there not turning the water. It's gonna be like all our other meters we have. It's gonna show someone used water, and I'm not half tempted to put a camera out there where it's sitting right at that hydrant either. So, so when someone does use water,
That would be the
when
thing
I
to
see
have.
somebody out there getting water, there's a meter on it.
out there,
They put,
Sessions. Well, it's not Sessions. It's Samwell.
they have a meter
Correct.
that they have hooked to the hydrant, so
Correct.
it's being metered.
Yes.
Now, if
He's the
if
only
they
one.
do anything with that, I don't know.
He turns it in. He does.
Okay.
No, he turns in. They turn them in.
Yeah.
But but the other big tanker trucks, they don't have meters. They just hey, I got 4,000 gallons in my tank. That's what we got. That's what they turn in.
Well, like the fire on Butt Road, the entire time we were there, we used 24,000, which seems like a lot, but we're talking 30 million.
Yeah,
I mean, that,
Yeah.
so.
And we know it's not BF Goodrich meters being tracked. We know that they had a big problem when we put that in there, and they put the meter in, and they realized, oh crap, we had a problem, and they fixed it. So, which is good.
Yep.
So-
Do we have to turn this in, I'm assuming, to the state?
Oh
or-
yeah, it's already turned in. Yeah.
And what do they say? Do we get fined for any of this stuff, or?
No, it's your guys. It's your guys' water. You pay for 103 million gallons of water comes out as well. You guys pay for that. You get taxed for that.
This is their way of making sure that we're tracking what we have and what we.
It's making sure you're good stewards
Yeah.
of your water usage and that you're charging. And obviously, you're not billing for 30 million gallons of your water. Well, that you're collecting that by your costs. I mean, your rates change to reflect what you're not billing for.
Yeah.
So yes, I mean, over time, they are tracking this. They're gonna say, hey, you guys need to button this system up a little bit more and figure out why you're losing some water. We're not gonna give you, they're not gonna give you a loan, so. Cause this just reports to the Finance Authority, who it gets reported to. So, yeah. And now, like I said, now it's gonna be every year, which is actually, it's a good thing. It is a good thing to track it so we know what we're doing.
In history, this percentage of loss, is this typical for Woodburn, or is it?
Every year that we've done it, except for the first two, this is this is where we've been at fighting to figure out where this water's went to. Our first couple that like when Tim's first year, maybe we did a couple of them. We were 16% off, maybe. We were 15 to 16% off.
Is this pre or post discovering the love situation?
That would have been after we discovered the love situation. So,
Okay, yeah.
but since then, like I said, we found meters. Some of our big meters that they're missing a zero. I mean, that's a lot of water when it comes down to, you have a big meter and you're missing a zero on.
Yep.
You're missing on the front end. That's not so bad. You're missing on that back end.
Yep.
It's pretty bad. So, so that stuff adds up. It's just be aware of this. We're trying to find everything we can, and it stinks. I'm not allowed to track what we dump on a water main break, because I said I know we did almost 700,000 gallons on that 3-inch water main that we couldn't find. But I know for a fact that's where it was at, but I can't use those numbers. So, but we already kind of know them. It's this one we do this year, we're gonna already know that number's there, and it will be noted in the report. But, so we try to write all that stuff down when we see what we wrote in our logbook, so we know exactly what we're using. But and right now we are using a lot of water, but everybody's all these additions are watering their yard.
Yeah, and it's dry out too.
Yeah.
No rain.
Yeah.
So.
But with that, I did on Friday. I was at a Teams meeting, which I've sent you guys, is the leak detection equipment. It's kind of expensive. Not, either we got to add it for next year or whatever. It's just something I'm throwing at you guys. What it is, these modules, for the most part, can stay in place. They're magnetic. They stick to the main. They stick to or the valve. But they're only as good as the information you put in the system is what you get back. We have to know the size of the main, type of main, and all that stuff. If we know most of that, it's not hard to get figured out. But one community had like 200 of these things in their system. They were where we were at. They were over 50% water loss. And he was showing us in real time through the cloud, the guy who was presenting this, and he was showing us how these little modules do. They listen to vibrations in the lines. So they hear a vibration, and the sound of that vibration, so as you triangulate more of them, it tells you a better signal, or tells you where stuff's at. But we were seeing, he showed a couple that were red and a couple that were orange, because vibrations were high, and then he kind of showed us the map of where these things were located at. And they're random, different places in this city. And all of a sudden he goes, now we're going to click the button here, I'm going to show you. And he clicked it, and all of a sudden it showed a big bright red dot right on the map, and you zoomed in, and you can see the map. And he goes, we happen to have cameras downtown. And he clicked on the camera, and sure crap, there was the water main. You can see it coming out of the ground. And they go, now they've known this one's here. He goes, I'm not saying this was a miracle. He goes, we knew this break was here. He goes, but you can see where the water's coming out versus where we actually have it pinpointed at. He goes, they're going to dig where our pinpoint is at, because that's where the water leak is actually at. It's not going to be where the water's coming out at. It's going to be where our pinpoint was at. Which I was like, okay, that's kind of impressive. You can see it in real life. And they started showing us, they fixed like 40-some water leaks that they have no idea they had. Like I said,
I still say we have one down in front of the gas station, right at the curb.
I would think so too. We probably have several of them that are smaller. We just don't know that they're going on, but this thing here, like I said, these guys had 200 of them and left them in place. And my question was, I don't want 200 of them. Can I get a certain amount and move them? And he's like, yes. He goes, we have communities that have just 10 of them, and they set for a month in one area, and they scan that whole area for a month. They know where the leaks are at. They pinpoint, they fix them, and they move.
Now, you put them on the valve boxes, or what?
Go down inside on top of the valve.
Yeah.
And they go down inside. They got a little antenna that comes up, and they got them just underneath the lid.
They don't go in the water, do they?
No,
Okay.
they do not. He goes, you can put them on top of the mains. Obviously, they're plastic. You can't put them on top. That's why you have to have the valve. But then you designate you're on the main or you're on the valve. But yeah, they were. It's a nifty little unit. I mean, nifty little system. But it's something that they were going to come out and demo it, but they haven't got their hands on the demo yet. So he goes, but we've demoed. Finally, we kind of got a chart. I'm like, just give me a price. So there was me and about 3 other communities that were sitting on the meeting, asking questions and different things, and we saw several communities. Most of them had hundreds of them in the system.
Really?
And that's the only reason because they started small. And they were much bigger cities than what we were, obviously, and they're expanding them out, and they just kept adding them because it was saving them money in the long run. So.
In the long run, I could see it, you're not hunting.
Yeah, you're not hunting. You're going straight down. If you find a break, you're not having a water loss. I mean, you're picking out extra water revenue up and saving the plant power and the energy and the usage, and whether they say we have any, we don't. I mean, I don't know. So, it looks like it's a web-based system to me that each unit costs, such a. He said there's a little SIM card in there, and he said it's like costing 35 cents a month to have those SIM cards running. And I was like, oh. He goes, I pay that as what I charge my annual fee. And that's how he handles it. So.
Do we buy the hardware?
Yeah, everything we buy it. We buy everything.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm assuming the cloud program, we buy rights to be on the cloud program. And I did ask the question too. If we get 10, is it, if I want to say, hey, I want 10 more a year from now, do I have to update my system? He goes, nope. Just keep adding them. You keep adding them right to the system, as many as you want to add. So he goes, whatever the little unit costs, then he goes, the annual fee might go up because you've added much more in there, but
each one probably has its own little IP or whatever.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, some weird little thing. He goes, but he says like 35 cents a month is what it cost him. So, so yeah.
Did he give you any sort of a cost?
He did. Yeah, Kevin has the cost. I don't remember what it was.
It should be in the email.
Yeah, it's probably.
I think it's in the email.
I don't.
Because I thought I saw it, the quote earlier. When I was
Go to
looking at
that.
It was 17 something, right?
Oh,
Yeah, 17,150
Yeah.
for 10 units. So for the cloud system, it looks like it's a 5-year subscription or whatever. They're $195 each, but it's for 5 years.
So
So break that down per year. What are you talking about? $30 or something?
yeah.
plus than I thought it was.
Well,
A
you
buck
just
a
think
day.
about being a backhoe operator or excavator, and you're ripping up asphalt concrete, and you're digging here, and you find the leak
Exactly.
50 feet that way.
Correct. And we run that all the time. We
I would
we dig
expect a
a
lot more
we
than that.
dig a 25-foot hole because we started to hear the leak, but it was over here. I mean, yeah.
And just
And does it instantly
It'll start sending, like, we won't find results instantly. He said it'll take about 2 weeks because those are AI units, so they learn and teach themselves of the vibrations and what, someone turns a sink on, it's going to know the difference between that home's turning that sink on or not and shutting itself off. So in about 2 weeks you'll start seeing them start popping up because those units will recognize, okay, that's a constant noise coming there and it shouldn't be coming from that zone. They said they're continually learning each other all the time. So.
Yeah, cause what's it cost us to have, Adam come up and,
No, this one out here is going to be several $1,000s here, I'm assuming. I haven't got a bill here for this yet, but the big one out here is going to be expensive because we cut the road open.
Yeah, because it seems like we never find a leak until it comes to the surface.
Correct.
We don't know it's leaking until it comes to the surface.
Yes, it'd be, even the one we did today, we probably would've still tore asphalt out, but it'd been nice to just cut
Yeah.
the section out and go right down on it and fix it,
And remember on, was it College Street, right by the bank there?
Mm-hmm.
There was a sinkhole starting because the leak had gone on for quite some time.
Yeah, we just didn't know.
And we didn't know it.
Yep.
And once you dug it up, it was all hollowed out in there.
Yep. And it'd be a zone that we'd have to do zones, as it went. And if we started finding, like, holy moly, in a year or so we buy 3 or 4 more and start moving them around. It's just it is what it is, but.
Them other cities, you said they leave them out there permanently. The
Yes.
ones that have a ton.
Yeah, they just started leaving them out permanently because they just left them in. They're constantly listening to their system and looking for new leaks to happen or anything happening. So,
How many do you think it would take to do the whole city?
we're small, but we have a long stretch of pipe, which is weird. To do the whole city's probably would be a couple hundred of them. Yeah, because he said that you can have them, quite a ways apart, but he goes ideally you only got them about 400 or 500 feet apart from each other. He goes about every hydrant is where you want to. Or every other hydrant's where you want to stick them. That way they start listening.
Well, the more you have, the more accurate.
The more accurate it's going to be, correct. So,
Well, can you do it like a month at a time?
you mean?
Do Havenwood for this month and then
Yeah, and
move it east?
that's exactly what that would be exactly what I do. I do quadrants, and as I start moving around, then we start just listening to whatever. As you start fixing them, okay, then maybe it might take. We have it in Haywood. It might take 3 months if there's a bunch of leaks out there to get all the leaks fixed.
Yeah.
To find out that Havenwood's quiet. Now let's move on. Anything like that, because you may see one or two. You get those two fixed, then as it's listening, it might, it's not nearly as loud noise, but there's constant noise right here. And then you go down and, because I know this guy made the same comment, he goes, there was a new addition that had 3 services leaking at the corp, and they didn't believe me, and they went down and looked, and went down and backed them out, and they're leaking right at the corp. He goes, brand new system, how's it leaking? He goes, it's probably from them hooking up and moving and yanking and all kinds of stuff.
When you say about 100, but we wouldn't need 100 if we're just gonna do quadrants.
Yeah, that's 10. I think that's for 10.
That's 10. Is that each one of these battery-looking things with the antenna? Is that
Yes.
each
Yeah.
one of those
He
things
quoted
is
me for 10.
$1,200?
That's why I go, what's the minimum that we could? He goes, not the minimum. I go, what is it for like 10 of them? That would give me a nice quadrant from about a 4 or 5 block zone into me moving around. He said he would recommend 10. He goes, if you like them, you can always add the units really aren't that expensive, which they're really not that bad. But
Is the software able to be put on what we have now, or you gotta get all the hardware? It shows a different monitor here and everything.
I'm assuming it's a cloud-based system, so I'm assuming that whoever we get logins to see it and pull it right
Just
up.
log in and it's
You'll be able to see it then. Yeah.
That's
You probably
fantastic.
get it anywhere, your phone or
Yeah.
computer, anything. Is that what you think about a couple block radius is what 10 of those would cover? I'm just trying to think, if you had 10 of them and you're moving them, because you'd leave them there, you'd wait for it to collect data, then you try to go fix something, then you leave them there for a while again,
Yeah.
see if it's fixed. If it's not, if it is, are you talking about 2 or 3 months per quadrant? How many areas are you gonna have?
Yeah, like Park Lane. Park Lane would take like 3 or 4 max. It'd be 3 or 4. That whole stretch would take 3 or 4 of them to be done. So you could get fairly decent sections done, but if we go into Sunview and Cornerstone or Country Shoal over there, not Country Shoal, Clovedale. Yeah. You do that, it'd probably take all 10 just to do that one block, that one addition right in there. Just because it's branches off a couple different places, just to get that one addition is what it would take.
I'm just thinking, is it smarter to start off with more, that way you're not spending
Oh, a bunch.
3 months on one section, is that the amount of money you're gonna spend, is it better just to spend more, that way you have more area to cover, so it's not taking you
buy more
3 years
Yeah.
to cover this, to do the city. Hey, let's just get them added on, get them in there.
Well, that's why that's why I think if we do a quadrant for 2 months and we like, holy crap, we found 4 leaks. Well, then maybe we just buy a few more.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna buy 10 more and stick over here. And
Cause it's gonna be worth it.
yeah. That's why
Wow.
you do 10 more. It's like, hey, these were worth it. We know this zone's quiet. Maybe we'll move here and buy another 10, and we can get multiple zones going.
Just think how many people have laterals leaking and everything.
Correct. And this report takes some of that into consideration.
Yeah.
There's like a certain percentage they consider loss from minor leaks in service lines, like dripping before the water meter. They take that into consideration on these.
Oh, wow.
reports. Yeah, because they know you can't. There's no way you're tracking all of it. It's
Yeah.
like a percentage they use. But yeah. based off our pressure and number of lines and everything that we use.
I think we get those, you're gonna find so many.
What's the number of,
Everything's
the-
gonna be at least yellow.
Yeah, the whole area is, they're all lit up.
what's the dollar amount of the 40 million that we've lost?
The 40
For water.
million registers to, and I'll tell you, I use the lowest rate you guys have. Right now, the dollar amount for the year is 18,000. That's what it's
Jeez, for
showing.
that.
That's what it's showing based off of me using the $5 and some odd cents for your guys' lowest rate of water users.
That's for the whole 43 million gallons?
Yeah. Based off of your rate, your current rate structure of your lowest user, yeah. Now we throw a regular residential user in there, you're probably double that.
40 grand for,
It's almost half of a job position.
Yep.
That's
You
the
know?
water,
it is.
it's not counting what you lose on sewer.
Yeah,
Oh,
true,
yeah,
true.
yeah, we lost all
but
that.
are you assuming this water is not going down drain, you'd assume, right? A leak, I mean, what,
Yeah, you don't know, I don't know. I would tell you most of it's probably not, cause we pump about 300,000 out of the water plant and we only bring in about 200,000 at the sewer plant.
yeah, so you're not, so you're not losing I mean, you're not losing that money on the sewer when it's
For
not
the most
going,
part, no.
when it's not going down the drain
In
anyway.
the summertime, that number gets closer, correct?
Winter time, it gets closer to winter.
In the wintertime, it gets closer because of,
We're not using as much water in yards and stuff like that, yeah.
And do we have those swimming pool meters out?
Mhm.
And we haven't compensated for those yet?
Those are in
But
this,
theirs aren't gonna be.
in this number, they're compensated for that.
Just for last year.
Yeah, so this is
Oh,
last
okay.
year. So.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, December 22 through December.
but that's all billed,
Yeah, those are all in there.
all metered.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's all counted and all build side, yeah.
Hmm.
But I just wanna present that to you guys, it's an option to start looking at, you know. So, I know I've really kicked the water in the teeth there, I'm gonna really kick it in the teeth here shortly. So, but,
Yeah, just those 2 leaks alone over there.
oh, yeah, those 2 leaks alone, you're
Yeah.
probably with Adams, probably gonna be $4,000 or $5,000, $6,000, not, you know, of what we wasted.
So if you had this system out there, if it was out on there, you'd have went right here.
We went right down on top of it,
Yeah. And you'd probably known before
We would know
the
before it
evidence
blew
of
apart.
it came
Yeah.
to surface, yeah.
We'd know before it blew apart.
Cause they're sitting out there learning all the time. If you had the whole system set up, it's sitting out there learning, hey, something's wrong, yeah, this isn't normal.
Well, I can tell you that leak out there, that storm drain that came in the ditch,
Mhm.
always rain for the last year or so. It's always had a little stream of water coming through it, and nothing now. We fixed that,
Really.
it's not nothing now. So it's probably been leaking slowly for quite a while.
Maybe that's a couple of those millions.
Yeah. That's all I have. I don't know if you want me to, you know, I'll put it in the budget for next year. I don't know if the price will change or grab one this, you know. I don't know what the water department's looking like, but I know I'm gonna have a $60,000 well housing coming in shortly, so.
I think we should at least put it in the budget for next year,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
at least. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah. I think it's wise to start being a little more proactive.
Mhm. But, do you think 10 is enough?
If we're gonna budget for it.
Should I budget maybe 30,000 for it?
Yeah, maybe go up more, get more of the
Yeah,
units.
that's what I would
Get
say.
another $12,000, about 20 of those instead of 10.
Yeah. What's it now, 17?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd assume a little bit more increase, yeah.
Yeah, 30 grand.
If we budget 30,000 for it, I'd say give me what I can get for 30,000 and go that route with it. We haven't put budget together yet, right?
Well, the quote is good for through December 30th. maybe we could ask them if they can extend the quote out to
Yeah,
like
I'll ask,
2 weeks in January.
and they might, you know, and they might say, yeah, you're fine, and you know.
Yeah.
Order in December and bill us in January.
Yeah. Yeah, very good.
We say, oh, order in December, bill us in January? Yeah, they probably will too.
Why? We do that a lot.
Yeah. That's all I have. And we'll get with Kevin, we'll start here in about 3 weeks flushing hydrants, so.
Okay.
So,
You're using Silversmith again and
yeah.
flows?
Yeah, we'll get the flows.
Good.
I'll be with, on the first several, make sure we're getting the proper flows.
Alright.
I mean, Pete will gauge them also, that way we will know for sure if that thing is accurate. Says it is, but some of them are low.
Yeah.
I don't know if you didn't have them all the way open or let them run, I just don't know the answer, or if something got in the gauge, I
I
don't
was
know.
just very disappointed.
What was that?
in
Is
the
that what we
flows.
just
Yeah,
talked
some of
about?
them were really, those ones out there should have been a lot higher.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I've been silversmithing all the new additions as they're going in.
Good.
So, they're all, this one's not all done over here yet, but
You
Asher
combine
Point's
this-
all done already.
Combine this at some point.
So they haven't put the sewer in over here yet?
It's all in, they just haven't tested it yet.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say, man, we're out there for a while.
It's all in, they just haven't tested, so.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions for Ryan?
When you flush hydrants, how much water we use?
A lot.
43.7079.
That's right.
Roughly.
And
Not quite.
How many hydrants are in the city now?
120 some, I think, total. But some of them we will shut off. I mean, we will shut the valve off and exercise them. You know,
Okay.
some of them we do that with, and some of them we'll flow test. them.
Location, yeah.
Correct. You know, if we're able to shut them off and just exercise them,
Yeah.
up and down, grease them, and that's all we do. Some of them we don't have that luxury of doing, but yeah.
The electrical outlet on the flower box is fixed, right?
Yep.
The one that the guy hit. Did JP come and fix the landscaping?
I do believe it has been fixed.
Okay, because she asked me if I wanted them to fix it, and I said, yeah, go ahead and do it, and just bill us.
I'm assuming it was, all the stones were back in place unless
Okay.
someone just set them all back in there.
Yeah, okay.
So,
All right, awesome. So that's taken care of.
I had something from JP. I don't know. I know it said mowing. I don't know what else it said on it, though. There was some other things. We'll have to look.
they might just glue them back down too. They weren't busted up. They may just glue them right back down.
Maybe they did, yeah.
Well, if they charge us for it, send it over.
Acrylic glue.
Oh, yeah,
They got the
something
They got the 3 or 4 trees in too.
like that. Mhm.
Rest of those. All right. I don't have, anybody else have anything for Ryan? I don't have anything else. Not for Board of Works anyway. You got anything?
Nope.
Kevin?
I don't.
Kevin?
Nope.
Nope. All right, I'll move to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All those in favor? Wow.
Well, if you see my wife tomorrow,